Today we're going to talk about why, if you've had a hard road in life, if you've experienced abandonment, if you've experienced heartache, if you've experienced a lot of pain and suffering, why those have been setting you up to be one of God's chosen ones. Now, I don't think trials and tribulations happen in life to test our character. I think they happen to reveal our character, right? When I went through hardships in my life, pain and suffering, it was showing me who I was. It was showing me my resilience, my character. I wanted to give up. And if you've been through hard times in life, I'm sure you've wanted to give up too, right? Like the whole idea that life is supposed to be cushy and beautiful is sold to all of us on a silver platter. But my friends, like that's just not the reality. We're going to go through hardships. We're going to go through trials, and it's going to test our character and show us, are we going to give up? Are we going to surrender? Or are we going to suit up, show up, and grow through what we go through? Believe me, guys, I know I've been through a lot of hardships in my life. And what's kept me holding on is knowing that I'm one of God's chosen ones. And if you stumbled across this video, it's not by accident. No, there are no coincidences in the universe. God put this video in front of you so you can understand if you're hurting, if you're suffering, if someone's hurt you, if someone's abused you, if someone's abandoned you. It's because you are most likely one of God's chosen ones. The ones that God chooses to do his work here on earth go through a lot of hardships. God wants to see how far we're willing to take it. How are we going to grow through what we go through? How are we going to process this pain and suffering? Are we going to use it to fall into depression, to sink deeper and deeper into self-loathing? Are we going to hurt someone else? Because hurt people most of the time until they become aware of their behaviors and how they're affecting themselves and others, and then they can change. But if we're not aware of our behaviors, how are we supposed to change? But the good news is if you're watching this video, you are one of God's chosen ones. God wanted you to see this video. God wants you to not give up on yourself because he hasn't given up on you. And the fact of the matter is, if you've had a hard life, you are one of God's chosen ones. God's chosen ones walk a hard path in this existence. And I truly believe that if we can change the perspective of pain and suffering and hardships and know that it is building our character, it is strengthening us and conditioning us for the next best thing. Believe me, I get it. You know, I had lost everything, literally everything in my life. I had endured a ton of abuse, a ton of trauma, a ton of toxic relationships, friendships, and intimate romantic relationships. And I used to think that this was defeating on me. I used to let it eat me up inside and say, oh, I'm a bad person. This is why it happens to me. I didn't know that it was because I was one of God's chosen ones. I thought that I had this sign on me, like hurt me, abuse me. But the reality is I'm just one of God's chosen ones. You are one of God's chosen ones, which means life is hard. Like we are not put here to live in heaven on earth. We're not in heaven yet. We are meant to go through these hardships that are building our character, that are revealing our character. When we choose to thrive in the face of adversity, when we choose to walk out of that toxic relationship, when we choose to say no, because in our gut we feel it's wrong, it's making us uncomfortable for a reason, my friends. There is a reason why our feelings are there. And a lot of times people will tell me feelings aren't facts. Feelings aren't facts. But like when I'm in the middle of a painful feeling, it feels really factual. It feels really real. And I never know how I'm going to get out of it. But I do know that if I can just go to sleep and not act out in an addictive behavior or do something destructive to myself, I know that it's going to get better. And I'm living proof of it. I have gone through a lot of hardships in my life, a lot of tests, a lot of adversity where people were treating me terribly, bullying me. And I chose to thrive from it all. I choose to remember that this is a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. And that's what pain and suffering is. As one of God's chosen ones, you are going to endure some pain and suffering. But my friends, I promise you, hang on. You are a chosen one. God has created you to do something amazing and magnificent in this world. Do not let the trials and tribulations of life, the doubtful thoughts and fear of the devil, do not let the enemy win. You are powerful. You are one of God's chosen ones. You are meant to be love and light. And I hope this video has inspired you to not further give up on yourself, to honor the love light that you are, and to recognize that you are one of God's chosen ones, and you are meant to do some amazing work here on earth. And a lot of people aren't going to like that. Haters are going to rebel against you because you're going against the physical world. But I promise you, store up those gifts in heaven. Hold on when you feel like giving up. And my friends, my chosen ones, God will turn everything around for your good. No enemy formed against you shall prosper. Until next time.